a day that we knew that would come sometime, at some point. I just had to wait for Nabi Kim to go back into the house because I haven't told him what happened. He's asked me about the court, and I said, "Is the usual nonsense going on?" And he said, "Okay." Sorry, I'm just getting a call. I have been on call since last night. I have not slept. Considering that I'm still recovering, I have not slept, not one bit, and I have been on calls and meetings, and some people were calling me that they were on high blood pressure and things, and I thought to myself, what do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do? We have seen what transpired today in the court between Mazi Nnamdi and the kakistocratic, I have always called Nigerian government kakistocratic government of Nigeria. What happened today is not something unprecedented. It is something that we know that this is what they want to do, even though some people don't realize that, but this is something that has been planned, prepared a long time ago. Although at some point we would have averted or evaded this type of behavior in the past, but notwithstanding, God alone understands why it has to come this way or go this way. Mind you, this is not about some political misunderstanding or misconception happening anywhere. This is about Biafra. So if we understand what Biafra is and understand what it entails and understand the people behind Biafra, the unseen hands and the seen hands, then we will understand what this whole thing is about. Also, if we understand who we are as the Igbo people, Igbo, there is something about us that the enemy does not want to but we are very special. I keep saying that, and at some point God in his infinite mercy would make us known as he has purposed us to be. So I need to be fast so I can go back in. I'm in the car trying to make this quick video before going back in, because Nabi Kim will come out now. I don't want him to hear me. In Nigeria, a judge cannot ask a defendant to open a defense on terrorism related charges without reading out the written law under which the court is trying that person. Okay, so the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, Section 36. I mean, I'm sure that is very familiar to everyone now. It provides that a person shall not be convicted of a criminal offense unless the offense is defined and the penalty prescribed as in a written law. So what Omotosho has done today is a written script for him to read out. Everyone could hear him, everyone could see that he was reading a script handed over to him, and that he could barely read out some of the words in his own very written judgment. How interesting. How interesting. I've had to quickly tweet and post the travesty of justice today regarding how Omotosho ignored the Constitution's requirement that no one can be convicted under an unwritten or unknown offense. He forced Mazi Nnamdi to take a plea under a repealed law, which Mazi Nnamdi refused. So show me where it is written before I can enter into a defense, and that never happened. Omotosho refused blatantly, flagrantly, to issue written rulings on serious applications. So you could hear him reading, you could hear him counting thousands of lines of hours of accounts. But then he refused to issue a written ruling, which he ought to have done first but never did. He told Mazi Nnamdi to put all objections in a final address, then blocked the final address. So if you were Mazi Nnamdi, you will be as outraged as Mazi was this afternoon. You cannot ask me to put my final address, put it down, write it down, and then you block it. So Mazi Nnamdi has right, is his right, to put a final address down, to write it down. But Omotosho blocked that and decided to read out those nonsense he called count. And he refused to, first of all, decide whether he even had the power to try the case. We kept talking about jurisdiction. I have always talked about jurisdiction. Nigeria government has no right to try Mazi Nnamdi. He who comes to law must come with equity, or he who comes to equity must come with clean hands, rather, excuse me. So it's also in the spirit. If I'm going somewhere to lay a complaint about someone, I ought not to have done something, rather lay a complaint first. So Nigerian government decided to take Mazi Nnamdi from Kenya, they kidnapped him, tortured him. After 8 days, they brought him to Nigeria, and then decided to try him under a repealed law, which we have refused. So a few gaps there where we should have stood on our discharge and acquitted and stood by it. Regardless, that would be revisited, and we are going to appeal. Of course, we are not going to sit down and fold our arms for Nigerian government to deliver something that they have planned, a verdict that they have written years before now. We won this case. They were not happy about it. They went to Supreme Court, even though the Supreme Court messed around with the whole judgment, but they did say to them, you are trialing him on a wrong law, change it. Nigeria never changed it. Where is the treasonable felony gone? Where is the location of the crime? Where is the location of the crime? Did Omotosho mention it? No. One of the reasons I came on live is to point at just one single point, or one single loophole. Omotosho cannot give a verdict on an evidence that was not inclusive in the previous, or the evidence tendered in court. Everyone keeps shouting, Mazi Nnamdi said, burn down this, kill the policemen. What were the policemen doing? Policemen were shooting protesters who were unarmed. But that aside, did any person come to court? Was there a witness in the court who came in to say, I committed this crime? Or was there a person that the police or the DSS or the Nigerian government brought into the court and said, this person committed this crime because Nnamdi Kanu incited them? None whatsoever. So in Omotosho's verdict, he was counting everything, and he counted about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu wanting the British embassy to be burnt down and Katrina Lang murdered. How on earth? How is that? So you see, annoying long day, not unexpected day, but a day that we knew that would come sometime, at some point. I just had to wait for Nabi Kim to go back into the house, because I haven't told him what happened. He's asked me about the court, and I said, it's the usual nonsense going on. And he said, okay. Sorry, I'm just getting a call. I have been on call since last night. I have not slept, considering that I'm still recovering. I have not slept, not one bit, and I have been on calls and meetings, and some people were calling me that they were on high blood pressure and things, and I thought to myself, what do you want me to do? What do you expect me to do? We have seen what transpired today in the court between Mazi Nnamdi and the kakistocratic, I have always called Nigerian government kakistocratic government of Nigeria. What happened today is not something unprecedented. It is something that we know that this is what they want to do, even though some people don't realize that, but this is